Hello Cancer, Sun, Moon, Risings. Welcome to your July 2022 forecast. Okay, let's take a look at the Aspectarian over here. We've got our transits. We're going to do your tarot for your full and your new moon. There are 2 months, happy birthday by the way, there are 2 months out of the year that are especially focused for you on relationships. That's January and July. So at this point, you're going to be getting the results of the work that you've done over the last 6 months. And then you also get to sow the seeds and plant some seeds for what you'd like to improve or change or get more of in the coming 6 months. So starting off with something kind of gnarly, but we must get it done. Saturday, July the 2nd, we have Mars in Aries, 27 degrees of Aries, squaring Pluto, retrograding at 27 degrees of Capricorn. So Mars is at the top of your chart, and Mars is just so motivated and getting you so ramped up to focus on your career, on your reputation, on your status, on your legacy, what you leave behind for forthcoming generations. And the fact that they're knocking into Pluto and Capricorn in your 7th house does speak to a power struggle. Now, this, be very careful because it could be public. There could be something very visible, especially because the 7th house is a public house and that 10th house is a public house. So there is a transformation happening here. It doesn't have to be a power struggle, but for you in this case, this could definitely be an aggressor, someone that's kind of coming for you, someone that is, it could be someone like a landlord you're having an argument with. It could be an intimate partner you're having an argument with, and then you guys get a little messy in public and you get into a fight at a restaurant or something, and it's a little bit contentious. So Mars is in the sign of its rulership. Pluto's the ruler of your 5th house. This could be about or be having to do with children, especially if you're arguing with your partner over child care decisions, that kind of thing. But, this one, it does look a little gnarly. On the flip side, on the brightest side of this, you could be, I would say, something is changing in regards to your public image, and you're on this new moon that you started in June, the end of June. So this is part of that. This is part of you. This is part of your development, let me say. So, you're very, if you're not focusing on being a parent or your career or your ambitions, your legacy, your reputation, then there's going to be conflict and there's going to be struggle and there's going to be frustration. So, this could be that. This could be some kind of attack. This could be some kind of public attack, but this can also be that you are changing the way you connect with intimate one-on-one connections and relationships, and how you kind of behave and conduct yourself in your career. So it could just be because of a conflict that you change your ways, or it could be because of an attack that you respond or you don't respond, or you might be answering to something aggressive, maybe even violent, but it doesn't have to be that way. And so it does look a little bit gnarly. It might be a little bit difficult to take the high road. Like, tempers could be super flaring. Your partner could also be fighting with someone in your life as well, or your partner could be fighting with your boss, or there could be dual needs where your personal relationships need you, but the career needs you as well, and you could be really stressed out, caught in between, and be really burnt out. A couple days later, it blows over. On Tuesday, July the 5th, is when we have Mercury moving into Cancer and Mars entering Taurus. So Mars will move on into Taurus in your 11th house of friends, groups, and associations. It could increase your participation in social media, online activities, in your community. And you could even meet new people, make new friends, make new allies, get new people to your side. You could be working with new groups. You could be working with charities and organizations that care about the same things that you care about. And if it doesn't get expressed that way, then it could devolve into fights and arguments and conflict with your friends and your allies. So it's wherever Mars is, we have to channel that energy there, or it sort of just turns in on itself. The fact that Mercury is also moving into your sign is really, really great. Mercury is the ruler of your 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing, as well as Virgo, your 3rd house of the mind. So Mercury moving into your sign is going to be giving you this number one, a great ability to talk about yourself in a very conscious way where you can be detached enough to see yourself objectively and discuss and give you an opine from a position that is very well informed, because you've just had Mercury moving through your 12th. I'm a Cancer rising, so I don't know about you, but for me, no sleep at all. I mean, not no sleep, but just I've been sleeping very lightly with Mercury and Gemini. So, and I'm usually, it's a normal sleeper, I think. So when I'm kind of looking forward to Mercury moving into Cancer, because you could just find yourself being more busy, even busier, taking on more tasks, meeting new people with that Mars moving into Taurus, because then they're both going to be sextiling each other. So you could meet a new friend, make a new ally, or find yourself getting to know a new group or an association or online community. So that looks super duper fun. Then on Wednesday the 13th, we have the Capricorn full moon in your 7th house of partnerships. This is a very intense full moon. It'll be conjunct Pluto. It's opposing Mercury and the Sun in your sign. And Mercury at this full moon is about to go cazimi with the Sun. At this point, they're almost with the Sun, but not quite. So they're combust. They're just burnt up without any kind of like direction, or a little bit lost. So you're about to receive the full light of meaning, but you're not quite there yet. So they're both T-squaring Chiron and Aries at the 10th house. So something is definitely changing in your public life, in your career, in your social status, your reputation. And it does look, because Chiron is the wounded healer, the result that you're getting, because the full moon's all about results. So all the work that you've been doing on yourself, in your relationships, in your professional relationships, if you work with the public, if you work in retail or customer service, or any kind of interfacing with other people as part of your line of work, you're going to get these results, as well as your personal relationships, as well as your intimate one-on-one connections. And it's going to be really based on and because of this result. It has to include reconciling with a wound or an insecurity, or some way for you to heal yourself, or maybe even heal others. So the energy has to release here. So you're going to have to step up in some way, either in your personal relationships, and be the bigger authority, which means to be vulnerable. It'll mean to be honest and open and vulnerable and bearing yourself. Like, this is very, very visible. And honestly, guys, I think it's best. Like, for me, I work in healing and in energy and in spirituality. So it's a little bit better for someone like me if this were like, I think it'll be very interesting, if you're curious, to find any of your favorite celebrities that are Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Risings, more so for Cancer Risings or Cancer Suns. But, there could just be some news that breaks out about them that is making them feel vulnerable, or making them feel exposed, or exposing a wound, exposing, that they were raped, or they had a miscarriage, or they had they got, what's that called? When someone throws acid on your face, they were, it could just be something kind of like that gets publicized or gets blown up. So you can look at it like in that context as well. So at the full moon, though, the answer will be to be vulnerable. The answer will be to share yourself and to lead through that vulnerability. With Pluto involved with this full moon, it's like the nature of your relationships are changing. It just has to. It just has to. They've been changing over the last 6 months. You've been working on yourself over the last couple of weeks since your new moon in your sign. So by the time that this reaches fruition, you're almost going to know where you stand with yourself when Mercury perfects in the cazimi. We're going to talk about that next. But you'll really have a solid footing and see your results of where you stand with other people, your one-on-one interpersonal relationships, and your relationship with the public, if that's part of your work. What I love about this full moon is that it is making a trine to Uranus and the North Node in Taurus in your 11th house of friends, groups, and associations. So I love this energy because this could be such a surprise. And I have my moon in Aquarius, so I love surprises. And so, cosmic surprises. With people surprises, I don't think it goes well like people. I think it's better for like letting cosmos do things. But, in any case, this is going to be very beneficial. Take the upgrade. Uranus is like kind of with the North Node, applying in a conjunction to the North Node, and things can just turn on a dime for you. Something just unlocks. Something unlocks here, and it shows you destiny opening up, where you're meant to be focusing and how you're meant to be interacting with your allies, or how you're meant to show up in the relationships with your allies, with your friends, groups, associations, or if you're stepping up, you could even be stepping up in your role in a charitable organization. You could be welcomed into a new role in an organization, or you can go changing the nature of a relationship with an ally. So there could even be something that goes like a friend turns into something more, and it can kind of take you by surprise, or a friend kind of professes their love to you. That could take you by surprise, but just expect surprises. It's gonna be kind of trippy. I'm kind of excited for it. So let's take a look at your tarot. Is there any other message for my Cancers? Now, I should mention this for you too. Pluto has been in your 7th house, totally burning down and rebuilding your approach to relationships, how you view relationships, but also the relationships themselves since 2008. So they've just changed so much. All that's just changed so much since then. A couple more years to go. So this has likely brought you people that have tried to overpower you, tried to power plays. You could have had to face your most ugly parts of how you try to exert your power in relationships as well, and that could have brought a lot of ugly stuff to the surface. So it also includes, though, powerful people that can help you, powerful people that could do a lot for you and for your life. So this could also be part of that. You could meet someone or go to the next level with someone that can really make a very big difference in your life because of their power, because of their ability to do more than you can do alone. And this, like I said, does have some thing to do with your career and your reputation. And from personal experience, how I've been watching these like Aries full moons, Aries new moons, and anything with Chiron and Aries, it's usually where I'm doing what I'm normally doing. I might feel more insecure about it, and then I just have to tell myself it's not about me, it's about the message. And it's like something changes when I'm doing my work, and when I focus on just helping people and what I'm here to do, it goes a lot better. But I do just feel like I just want to disappear. Like I just don't want to be like on camera. I don't want to be like in the public. I don't want to like go and make a video. Like it's like the total opposite of what I want to do. So you just might feel like that, but you might be thrust into the spotlight or into the public or into your family's faces for some reason or other. And it could have to do with this partner or the public, or any kind of one-on-one partnerships. So okay, just kind of make sure I touch on that point. Tell me about the full moon for Cancerians, please. Tell me more about the full moon in Capricorn. So you're going to see where you've come from, how far you've come, and then you're going to see where you're going, or how far you still want to go. This is a lot, but I feel like we have to take it. You have the King of Pentacles, you have the 6 of Wands, you have the 10 of Pentacles, you have the Chariot, you have the King of Wands, and you have the 10 of Wands. So honestly, there's just a lot happening with your relationships, and I feel like it's mostly good. Again, I feel like there might be someone to help you overcome some of these really difficult things that, like, it might just be too much to carry alone. And this is nice. Like, you're getting the fruits of your efforts. So if you've been really doing your lessons in relationships over the past 6 months, since the Capricorn new moon in January of 2022, and you took your hard knocks and you learned your lessons and you felt your pain and you did it, you're going to do okay, because Saturn's in Aquarius in your 8th house, and the ruler of the full moon is making a very nice aspect to Gemini in your 12th house. So there's going to be some kind of healing or some kind of peace, and it's shown here in the cards as well, because you have a lot of masculine energy and you have a lot of favorable energy that's like helping you. There's something making you feel a lot better about the long term, like the far future. And I do see the public part of this as well with the Six of Wands. You might have something to celebrate. And Two of Pentacles, yeah, Six of Swords. It looks like you're leaving some kind of big stress behind. Four of Wands, Five of Pentacles, King of Swords. You might have been worried about some kind of living situation or some kind of roommate situation. And it looks like mentally you're really freed from that. There's something that kind of culminates that. Again, there's just someone, or yeah, it's going to be a person, or it's going to be the relationships through your friends, groups, associations, your allies, your partnerships, and these one-on-one connections that kind of surprise you, and it's going to heal you. Like I'm saying, for me in the personal stories, like it's usually just me that feels insecure, and I'm fine. Like I don't get any like hate or anything around those times. It's a different astrology that shows that, to be honest, but I'm feeling like I just want to hide, but I turn out to be usually like more appreciated, but that heals me because I'm feeling like I don't want to have anything to be with like in videos, but so it's probably going to be something like that where you might be feeling vulnerable, but it's a good thing because it's healing some kind of wound or insecurity, especially if around parents or parenthood, or if you're a parent or you being a parent to yourself. Now, Saturday, the 16th, we have the Sun Mercury Cazimi at 24 degrees of Cancer. So this is happening in your first house. This is going to be very, very personal for you. You're going to finally receive the full light of meaning. This is a Mercury synodic cycle that began May 21st of this year. So by the time you have the exterior conjunction, you're going to really see kind of almost everything. There's one maximum elongation point, but don't worry about that. At the Cazimi, you're going to get downloads. You're going to see very clearly yourself, first of all, but also you're going to see the results of what you've initiated or what you've been working on personally within your own character building. And it's almost like a mini full moon. Mercury is the ruler of your 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing, and the Sun is the ruler of your second house of self-esteem and self-worth. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some very healing energy, like a healing realization that increases your self-esteem, and it relieves some kind of worry or some kind of fear or some kind of psychological thing that was just like an earworm or like a brain worm, like just really difficult to kind of discipline and to keep it in check. So that Cazimi is going to be, it's going to be nice. I feel like it's going to be very, very good for you and very helpful in understanding yourself. And you might even be seeing some things about yourself that you were not able to see before. Maybe it's because you're moving past them, or you already have, that you're able to see what it was really about, or what something really turned out to be. Then, where are we? 16th. The very next day. So this is going to be boom, boom, boom. Sunday the 17th, Venus will enter your sign. Venus in Cancer is going to be so yummy and juicy. You're going to be voluptuous. You're going to be more attractive. You're going to have the sparkle. Everyone's going to be attracted to you. It's going to have that je ne sais quoi. You're going to be very, Venus being the ruler of your 11th house of friends, groups, and associations, as well as your 4th house of home and hearth and kith and kin, is saying that they will like you more. Your allies, your friends will be more kinder to you. Your family might just like you a little bit more. And relationships should go a lot better with these people after Venus enters the sign of Cancer. So you might even just be more appreciated. You might just like feel more appreciated, feel more, and that's going to be coming off the full moon as well. But that looks nice. Monday, July the 18th, we have Mercury. The very next day, boom, 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 Mercury at 27 degrees of Cancer, opposing Pluto and Capricorn. This is serious business, man. This is serious. This is like you're putting together a pretty big deal. This is a conversation with a powerful person, and you're probably discussing some arrangement or some kind of agreement, or this could be a business agreement, but this could also be a super cathartic conversation with your wife or your husband or your business partner. And again, Mercury being the ruler of your 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing, and the 3rd house of the mind and the intellect and the neighbors, the local community, but also business contracts, could spell out that you're doing this behind the scenes, that this is happening in a way that it's not quite visible yet. Maybe you're collaborating on something that isn't ready for a rollout, but you're having like the discussion that's going to lead to maybe maybe a big contract. So, and it might even just be a meeting. It could be the meeting, you first meet, the discussion. It could be putting together the deal, structuring the deal. It could, any one of those steps. Pluto is also the ruler of your 5th house of love and joy and romance and self-expression and your subliminal self. So these could be creative. This could be even like a discussion about your children with your partner, or discussing your small business with another person in power, or someone that could be very helpful to you. So I like that. That's going to be good. That's going to be very good. Friday, July the 22nd is when the sun will enter the sign of Leo. This is going to be nice. The sun loves Leo, loves being in Leo. Leo ruled by the sun. And it's your 2nd house of finances and self-esteem and diet. So all of these areas are going to start to increase in a more positive way for you, and you're going to be more focused on these things. So just be careful, because there might be more money coming in from after the 22nd, but you might be very tempted to spend that money. Having a fire sign 2nd house makes it just like, where did it go? Where did it go? So, just be careful there. But by the 28th, you're at your Leo new moon. So you're having a grand new 6-month beginning. This is usually like an August thing, but they're a little bit stacked up. So now you're moving, by the end of July, you're moving into the time of the year for you, Cancer, that you are focusing on the money, and you are seeing the results of what you've been doing with your money in all realms. So let's talk about it. July the 28th, we have the Leo new moon happening in your 2nd house at 5 degrees of Leo. They will be in this fresh focus of finances, the money you have right now, your earning capacity, also your self-esteem and your diet, what you put into your mouth. So that includes smoking and drinking and eating. It's opposing Pluto and Capricorn, not by the sign, by the degree. So this is going to be what's important, having your focus. Like, this is going to be very, very powerful stuff here, and it's from your 7th house too. So, this is going to be probably an overhaul of your finances. Like, Pluto don't mess around. Pluto is just go big or go home. So you're probably overhauling your finances, overhauling how you spend your money, overhauling your self-esteem, overhauling your, it's just going to be kind of like a lot of changes, a lot of positive changes and transformations there. Now, another thing happening is this new moon is trining Jupiter in Aries in your 10th house. This is gorgeous. I don't know what you're doing for your career by that time. You might even like start a whole new career, but your career is the reason of this financial overhaul. So it's like you're making money from your career. That's not always how it looks or always how it goes. And Jupiter is like so benefic and so giving, and just, it's freaking Santa Claus. And like, actually that's more Saturnian, but it's more like your favorite auntie who like is just gonna give the dog food under the table when mom said no, or let you out of your room before mom said you're allowed. Just someone that's want to like just give you good things, and whether you earned it or not, just wants to give you the experience. So, and then Jupiter is stationing retrograde on this day, so it's a very powerful moment. So then they're going to go back into Pisces, and it's going to be the last phase of the Pisces, of the Jupiter in Pisces. Then it's going to come back and hit that point again later on. I think that's next year till November, 28 degrees, maybe like the very end of December or the very end of this year going into next year is when it's going to hit this point again. You're going to get even more money, but this is just setting the stage. This is just sowing the seed. So over the next 2 weeks, and we'll talk about it when we talk about August for you, but just know that this is like a whole new reset for you. This is a jumbotron energy. It's a huge boost of support. You have a lot of support. You might even have a mentor in your field, in your industry, in your career, or you might be the mentor in the career. You might be the one with the microphone, like explaining things to people, and people are paying you for it. So it just depends on what you're doing. But that trine to Jupiter is gorgeous. The opposition to Pluto is intense. So it's like very, like you're here doing it. You're doing the thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now we're going to talk about what I've been like building up to talk about is your destiny point, Cancer. So on Sunday, July 31st, Mars, this is actually August 1st, but I'm too excited to talk about it. We're going to talk about it as July 31st for anyone on the planet where it's happening July 31st. Mars conjuncts Uranus conjuncts the North Node at 18 degrees of Taurus in your 11th house of friends, groups and associations and allies and people that can help you, people that want to help you, people that care about you, people that you choose to be friends with because it's a free will choice and because your values align. This is so gorgeous. You're going to see so very clearly, Cancer, your true blue people, your community, your tribe, your social media platform. You're going to see what wants you. You're going to see what you are drawn towards. It's going to be so unmistakable. Mars is the ruler of your 10th house of career and status and reputation, as well as the ruler of your 5th house of creativity, self-expression, artistic self-expression, and play and joy and romance. Uranus is the ruler of your 8th house of other people's money, finances, debts, loans, bursaries, death, sex, and taxes. And the North Node is that hunger for new experience and to live a life unlived, to not just repeat a karmic pattern. So the fact that all of these three are huddling together, and this is a special point, 18 degrees of Taurus. If you have anything around 18 degrees of Cancer, this is going to be going into August for you, and I'll talk about it in August. But very important point. This is a new destined direction for yourself, and you must balance your self-expression with the needs of the masses because of this Saturnian energy. It's also activating the Saturn-Uranus square a little bit. But when you lean into the maturity, you'll be fine. This is going to show you where your energy is meant to be contained and appreciated, and it's going to show you a huge kind of reveal for your future, and maybe even something about one of your wishes that you've had for your life. And it could be something that's about to come true, or that you believe is really going to come true, or really going to happen, really going to be a reality. And it's going to be very stimulating for your imagination. Something's going to happen, or you're going to be brought something unexpected from your friend, from your groups, from your associations, or your internet activity that's going to show you a future that you could really imagine for yourself, because you're going to believe that it's realistic and that it's possible because of something that's happening, at this point, at this time. And it has to do, like I said, with your career. It has to do with joy and happiness and love. It has to do with sharing and bonding. So it's going to be very revealing, and it's going to be very unexpected, and it's going to be an upgrade. You're going to upgrade your involvement in an organization that you care about. You're going to get promoted not on the board, or maybe someone nominates you for president or something. There's going to be something that's very juicy, very exciting. This is going to be very exciting, a lot of motivation, and just like super duper exciting stuff. Also happening on the same day, or rather on July 31st, Mercury is at 23 degrees of Leo in your 2nd house, opposing Saturn in Aquarius in your 8th house. So this is where the finances are getting sort of redrawn, new books, new everything. That Mercury is the ruler of the 12th house and the 3rd house. Saturn's the ruler of your 7th and your 8th. So again, this looks like a very serious conversation with a mature person, a person of authority, maybe even an institution. You might have to reconcile some debt with a financial institution or a fiduciary. And it could go both ways. You could be making some big moves with your money. Maybe you're setting up trust accounts. Maybe you're setting up retirement accounts. Maybe you are making some very diversified, wide, but very, maybe you're investing more traditionally, or you're doing something that is at the behest of someone that has a lot of experience. So again, this is definitely a financial transaction or a financial agreement. This could even be where you make the agreement, or if you're getting paid at this time, you might get like the first installment, or you might get like an advance, or there might be something where it's not the full amount, or it's a little bit less than you thought, because it is Saturn, it is an opposition, it's in your 8th house. So maybe the partner or the other person either doesn't want to give you the funds right now or release them at right now, or there's some hoops you have to jump through, you have to fill out some forms to do it first, or you come to a deal, an agreement, but they want to release it in installments and they want to release it over time. So it could be something like that, but it's going to be something that in connection with this super duper conjunction, this is still going to be something that you are jazzed about, that you're excited about. It's almost like responsible, like you might be entrusted with a lot of responsibility financially, like you might get funds to do something and you're excited about it, but you know you have to be like very serious and communicate very seriously. Maybe you have to itemize like what you're using these funds for, or like where it's going, what's happening with it. So, you know, if anything, it could also just be like you're being way more serious and mature with your finances. So, but for good reason. So enjoy the month, Cancer. This is going to be very exciting, especially because of that full moon in the very middle of the month. It is changing every area of life for you. It's changing you and your relationships and your career and your reputation. So I'm excited. It's gonna be really interesting to see kind of what comes up. And then that destiny point at the very end of the month is going to be so clear and show you where you belong. Like that's like that Aquarius ruled house, that 11th house of where you belong and the honesty of that belonging. So I'm just looking forward to everyone feeling really great. So I will talk to you more about your life in August, in July. So until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings.